Now I'm going to talk a little bit more about prepositional phrases. This is something I already talked a good deal about in the form chapter, but they come back up again in the function one, and it's very important to understand how they function. They really are, as I defined before, they start with a preposition and they end with a noun. They can be anywhere from 2 to 4 to 7 or 8 words, but most of them are about 2 to 5 words long. Okay? So these are prepositional phrases. But in function, it's very important to understand they can never be part of the subject and verb in function. They cannot do that. And as you're probably aware, there's a lot of exceptions to most rules in English. This is one of the few rules that's quite solid. You can never have the prepositional phrases take part in the subject or verb of the sentence. So even before we get to subjects and verbs, we have to know these are something we want to get out of the way, because these cannot be part of it, and they're frequently confused for it. So understand they can never be part of the subject and verb. They're always added on to the subject and verb, or added on to clauses. Okay? So what they actually do is function as adjectives and adverbs. They either modify nouns or they modify verbs. That's what they actually do. So they can be one thing, a prepositional phrase, but they can do something entirely different, which is function as an adjective or an adverb. Now, one way to see this is fairly simple. You could have a phrase like college president. That's actually a noun phrase. This is an adjective, college, modifying a noun, president. President is the noun, college is the adjective modifying that noun. Well, there's no prepositional phrase there. That's instead a noun phrase. But notice you can do the exact same thing with a prepositional phrase. Really, it's the same thing in meaning if you said the president of the college. The prepositional phrase is of the college. That phrase is modifying that noun. That's what it's doing. It is functioning as an adjective, giving more detail about that noun. Okay? So it's a prepositional phrase in form, but in function, it's an adjective. Now, the other thing you can do is function as an adverb. It can function as an adverb. And you can see that in things, wherever you hear something that, wherever you have a phrase that tells you how, where, or when something is done. So remember, with adverbs, they always modify the action verbs and tell you how, where, or when. Well, if a prepositional phrase is telling you how, where, or when, it's then functioning as an adverb. So things like to the store tell you where, on Tuesday tells you when. And watch this with it. This is put into a full sentence. We ate pizza before the game. This could be a sentence. Or I could do it, you know, and we have we as the subject, ate is the verb, pizza is the object. Before the game is your prepositional phrase. Notice I could end the sentence there and have it at the end of the sentence and have we as my first word. We ate pizza before the game. That's a prepositional phrase. But because it's functioning as an adverb, it can do what adverbs do, which is move throughout the sentence. Not all adverbs move, but most do. And in this case, what we could do is take before the game and move it to the front. Before the game, we ate pizza. And I could now end the sentence there. And I have a new sentence. But notice what I did was move the prepositional phrase to the front of the sentence. Adverbs can do that. And because this prepositional phrase is functioning as an adverb, it can move. Notice this one is an adjective. It must be tied onto the end of its noun. When a prepositional phrase is functioning as an adjective, it comes at the end of its noun, and it must be there and it cannot move. When it's an adverb, it can move throughout the sentence most of the time. So understand that about prepositional phrases. They function as either adjectives or adverbs. And very importantly, they cannot be part of the subject or the verb. Take care.